My view of Trivial Pursuit Live 2 has been severely dented by the fact that I bought and owned Trivial Pursuit Live 1. Trivial Pursuit Live 2, which I also bought for PS4, is nigh on identical to the first game, just with a new selection of questions, a little bit of tarting up of the graphics, and some player customization. Outside of that, it is pretty much the same game, so if you've got the first one, you don't need the second one unless you want more questions. If you're new to the franchise though, come for the second one first because it is the slightly better and more polished one of the two. With Trivial Pursuit Live 2, you're taking the Trivial Pursuit game, the board game, and translating it into a quiz-style game show. Very similar to Buzz, actually, in its quiz time, and considering it's come from the people that did its quiz time and Buzz, there's no surprise there. You can have up to 4 players playing, either together or online. You can do a kind of mixture of the two as well, which is good. And you'll go through either a 3 or 5 round game. Points mean prizes, mean wedges, basically. So as you get answers correctly, you'll score more points. As you cross certain points thresholds, you'll get a new wedge. Those wedges are coloured depending on whatever type of question it was that you answered as you go along. So you've got like sports and leisure are orange, geography is blue, for example, entertainment is pink. It goes through all the different things, but actually you don't need to like collect one wedge of each type like the board game sometimes asks you to do. It's just getting 6 wedges. The first either 2 or 4 rounds of this game, depending on which length of game show that you go for, are all around scoring points, and they'll do it in a different style. So the first round is always just generally selecting what the right answer is, and then it will veer off into choosing from a board of right or wrong answers, a bit like Jeopardy, or it could be fastest finger first, or it could be choosing from a certain selection of options what like the oldest, youngest, furthest, nearest, biggest, smallest of a selection of things are. There's variety to some of these games too, because a couple of the games have a everyone go at once option, and they're called blitz modes, and some of them have a you'll go in turns, and it's always the one that's got the lowest score that goes first. And where the Trivial Pursuit kind of vibe comes in is that whoever it is that's in last position gets sometimes the options to choose what the category is, so that you can try and play to your strengths, and hopefully you might be like really good at history but you're crap at everything else, so therefore you choose the history question and hope that you get maybe double points on your go and everyone else gets it wrong. As you're always choosing from multiple choice, that means that it's really easy to control from a controller perspective. You just move your cursor around on the screen and select what it is that you need to do. There's nothing beyond that, so it makes it very family friendly actually to get going, and not needing to go down like a download the app. This game doesn't need this. It's not that complicated. You just choose your answer and hope you win. As you get through to the final round though, this is where actually you can be absolutely terrible at everything and just nail the final round and win. And I always find this is a little bit too overpowered in this final game. And the idea is that you choose or you go round each of the subject matters in turn, and it's multiple choice 50-50 questions. So you keep going until there's only one of you left remaining, and then you get a wedge. But if there's more than one of you remaining at the end of 6 questions, you will still get a wedge regardless. So it will slowly filter people out. But what you'll find is that most people will have 2 or 3 wedges by the time you get to that final round, and then it's like a sprint for those last couple of wedges at the end, which means that no one's ever truly out of the game. Keeps people in check, but it does make a bit of a mockery of all of the rounds that come before it, because they feel like they all wait for 50% of the game, and then the last round gives the other 50% of the game, so it's a bit clunky. Outside of that, as you go through answering more and more questions and playing with each of the predetermined characters, you can't build your own characters. They're already personalities that are there already. But as you play with them multiple times and answer, say, 10 science questions, it will then start unlocking various different customizations so that you can dress them how you want. They've got different reactions and emojis that they do whenever they get things right or wrong. And the announcer dives in with some kind of pan-in shot saying, "Oh, you've answered 50% of your questions right." Those stats also carry through to your player profile as well, and I really quite like that because you get to see over time what actually your strengths and weaknesses are. So for example, I really thought that I would be really bad at arts and culture, but actually I could seem to answer those questions quite well, whereas I thought I'd be stronger at geography and I'm not. So just a good little insight for yourselves there. Outside of that, there is a Twitch mode integration as well. I've not tried it out personally as I don't do Twitch yet, but that's there if you want it. And the online worked well when I did get on to a game. However, there's an elephant in the room. Almost all of this was here in the first one. And so if you own Trivial Pursuit Live, there's very little incentive for any extras here apart from a different selection of questions. And if that's okay for you, then that's fine, go ahead and buy. I personally feel cheated at the fact that there's no lack of new rounds, there's no real innovation in what's come out of here from the quiz style. And I was hoping that I'd be able to like build a round or something like that, and there'd be like a selection of maybe 10 or 12 rounds that you could choose from, and it would make things different and interesting and lend to more replayability. But instead, this is a copy-paste of Trivial Pursuit Live, and I think that that's pretty much unforgivable because there is zero newness in the actual gameplay itself. So yeah, my scoring reflects that, unfortunately. I was disappointed, but actually, if you are new to the series, bump the score up a couple of points because it is good. Written review will be over on higherplanegames.com. Any comments or questions, leave them down below. Catch you later. Bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane-network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.